Good morning. We're going to start a yin yoga class on the urinary bladder and kidney meridians, and it's a very grounding practice. It also taps into your root chakra and your Svadhisthana chakra. So we're going to get started. In Tadasana, our feet are going to be about hip width apart. Depending on your body, your feet may be a little farther apart, or your feet may be a little closer together. So this is yin, this is listening to your body. We're tuning in to ourselves, and we're being respectful to our body and what it's going to tell us this morning. So starting in Tadasana, we're going to take an inhale. We're going to roll our shoulders back, lengthening our spine, and we're going to fold into dangling position. And just on a natural exhale, begin to fold over, take your time. And when you come down, grasp your opposite elbows, and we're just going to hang out here in dangling pose for about a minute. Dangling pose is a wonderful flexion of your spine, and be sure to have a generous bend in your knees. You want your stomach to connect to your thighs. You want to have that generous bend in the knee and really support your upper body on your thighs. This is what's working our urinary bladder and our kidney meridians. If you have glaucoma or high blood pressure, this pose is not for you. Alternate poses would be to sit in caterpillar, or you can use a chair and rest your upper body on the back of a chair so your head stays above your heart. That's another option that would be really good for this pose. So we're going to hang out here for a few more seconds. Okay, take 3 deep breath cycles with your own breath. Just really breathing in. Nice and easy, breathing out. Okay, we're going to plant our palms and adjust our stance. I'm going to grab a block here because I know I'm going to need it. So we're adjusting our stance, and we're going to drop our hips down. Coming up into Malasana. Malasana is a wonderful pose for opening up the groins. It is great for your urinary bladder and kidney meridians. It's great for digestion. If you are feeling that this is not where you're at today, if you have knee issues, surgery, or you're in your second or third trimester of pregnancy, or have plantar fasciitis, or really anything that tells you that this pose is not for you today, go ahead, come to the floor, and you can do an alternate pose of butterfly, or you can come on your back and do happy baby. You will get the same benefits as Malasana. So we're really just honoring our body today. And we're going to hang out here for 2 minutes. Another option, if you see my heels do not come to the floor, if yours do not, this is why I'm using the block. You can also roll up a blanket and put it under your heels. That's also a nice way to enjoy this pose. And again, this pose works into our groins. It also works into our ankles and our feet. If you feel comfortable in your supported squat pose, you can go ahead and close your eyes. Again, we're focusing on our breath. And notice little details. How does your breath feel different holding this pose versus when we were in dangling? Where are you breathing? Are you breathing up into your chest, or are you breathing down into your belly? There's no right or wrong here. We're just looking at tuning in to our body and noticing. At this point, you may be starting to feel uncomfortable. If you're feeling uncomfortable, that's totally to be expected. Yin is letting gravity take us into new places. If you're feeling pain, we don't want to feel pain. So you have to decide for yourself that fine line between what's painful and what is a deep sensation. If you're feeling pain and you need to come out of the pose, maybe come into a child's pose for a minute, take some deep breaths and either come back into our squat, or you can come into one of the alternate poses like butterfly or happy baby. We've got about another 30 seconds here. We'll do 3 more just natural, beautiful breath cycles. Okay, very slowly, I'm going to place my hands on the ground while I remove the block. We're going to come into a tabletop position. You may see that I already have a blanket on my mat here. When I do yin, I automatically put a blanket down. It pads my knees and my ankles, and I don't have to move it, in and out. So I just automatically put the blanket down, and I find it's a lovely, cozy way to do yin. So we're going to come into tabletop. And just do a couple rounds of cat-cow. Inhale, drop your belly down, look up. Exhale, arch it back. Move with your own breath cycles for 3. For 2. And for 1. Okay, from tabletop, I'm going to use a block because that's what works for my body. We're going to leave your knees where they are and come down to your elbows and then walk your hands out into melting heart position and bring your forehead to the floor. Another place, if I like the block to support my chest, it's also great if you are pregnant. Depending on your shoulders and where you are today, you can also place the block under your forehead. So wherever your body allows you, I'm going to come into melting heart position. If you are finding that you have pain in your shoulders, go ahead and widen the stance of your hands and see if that is a better option. Another option would be to place a bolster under the chest. So the beautiful thing about yin is it's not about the shape, it's about the sensation, and you can use any of the props that you need to really support your pose and allow you to feel, allow you to settle in, and allow gravity to work its magic into your fascia. So, no shame in the prop game. The meridians working here are the urinary bladder and the heart and lungs, and depending on your fold, possibly your stomach and spleen. So it really is a wonderful, wonderful pose. I'm going to come back into it for another minute. Wherever you're at, I'm going to remove the block. We're going to slide onto the belly, crossing one arm over the other into crocodile pose.
And we're gonna rest here for a full minute. Let our body reset. Another option for crocodile pose would be to actually rest your forehead on your crossed arms. Okay, whenever you are, we're gonna roll onto our left side and come onto the back. Take your time. There is no rush in yin yoga. So slowly we're gonna bring our feet to the floor. I'm gonna cross your left leg, so your left ankle is over your right knee. Keeping your feet flexed, it protects your knee and your ankle. Option one is to stay here. Gently pressing, not with your hand, just but gently pressing and activating so your knee is going towards the wall behind you. Next option is to bring your arms through, clasp your hands behind your knee. Again, both feet are flexed. We're going to hold here. This figure four pose, or eye of the needle pose, is a wonderful hip opener. It feels fantastic at the end of the day. It feels fantastic at the beginning of the day. Eyes are open or closed. Come back to your breath. Come back to your center. Check in with yourself. Where are you today? How are you feeling? How's this pose make you feel? How does this practice make you feel? The kidney meridian works with the water element. Water makes up our bodies, it makes up our world. It's very fluid. It nourishes us, it nourishes our planet. It brings about change. Any thoughts that you're having, let them flow in and flow out, like the waves of the ocean. And come back to your breath. We're going to take 3 more breath cycles here. We're going to release the arms. We're going to bring them into cactus pose, so your elbows are in line with your shoulders, palms facing up. Cross your leg so your knees are in line, and we're going to drop them over to the side into a twisted root pose. You may feel comfortable and your knees may go all the way to the ground, or you may need to place a block like I just did. The important part is to keep your left shoulder on the ground. So take your time getting into the pose, adjust where you need to. Maybe it's too much having your legs crossed. Maybe you need to just do a nice side twist without the cross. That's fine. That's wonderful. This is your practice. So you find where you're comfortable, find your edge, and settle in. We lived in Arizona for 3 years, and the part of Arizona we were at had lots of these amazing saguaro cactus. And when the rains come, the saguaro fill and swell with the water that the rains bring to the desert. And in the springtime, about this time of year, is when those cactus bloom very beautifully, but very briefly in the morning hours. So if you're lucky enough to see one, it's just an amazing sight. Twists in any form are wonderful for digestion. They're wonderful for your internal organs. They're wonderful for your back body, for your spine. As long as you remember not to push it. Honor your body, listen to what it tells you to. If you feel like this is getting to be a bit much, you can come out at any time. Come back to your Savasana pose, corpse pose. If you're still with me, we've got about 3 more breath cycles here. Very gently uncross the legs and bring them back to center. We're going to raise up on our elbows just for a bit and windshield wiper the legs back and forth. Just gently, in your own time. Come back down. Stretch your legs out. Just going to reset here for a minute in Savasana, corpse pose. Legs as wide as you're comfortable, arms to your side, palms up. And just breathe. We're only going to be here a minute. Just enjoy. As you lay here, just think, how am I doing today? How are you feeling? Let go of your worries. Enjoy the moment. Enjoy this time you're taking for yourself. Just enjoy. We're going to bring our knees back, our feet back to the floor. This time we're crossing our right leg over our right ankle is over our right knee. Foot is flexed, protecting the ankle and the knee. And if this is where you're happy staying, by all means stay here. Next option is to come here. Eye of the needle, threading your hands between and clasping behind the left knee. Both feet are still flexed. And you'll notice as you work into this side of the body that it will feel different than the other side did. And that's normal, and that's just how our amazing bodies work. Each side is different, and it changes. It changes day to day, from morning to evening, moment to moment. And that's okay. The only thing constant in life is change. Just honor that. Honor where you are today. We all come into our yoga practice with the history of our bodies, our accomplishments, our injuries, our illnesses. It's all here. It's all on the mat. And it's all part of who we are and part of our journey on this path of yoga. And it's beautiful. Any thoughts that you're having, let them float on by like leaves on a river. Come back to your breath. Notice where it is. Notice where you are. Enjoy the stillness of this moment. Got 3 more deep breath cycles here. Gently release the hands so there's no springing boomerang action. Cross the legs. I'm gonna need to adjust my hips to the side a little bit, and if you need to too, that's okay. And then let the legs fall and twist to the left. Arms back in cactus. Again, if you need to adjust your legs, maybe you don't need to twist the extra rep today. Maybe you just need a little supine twist. It's all okay. It's up to you, to your practice. Just maintain your right shoulder on the ground and come into a place of stillness and enjoy. Enjoy your moment. Enjoy being here. And breathe. If your knees are crossed, this is called twisted root pose. And I imagine a big tree with its roots twisting into the ground, tapping into the water source there, filling and nourishing the body. Just as this practice will fill and nourish your body. Enjoy the stillness for a few more breath cycles. If your legs are crossed, gradually release the bind and bring your legs back to center. I'm going to come up and windshield wiper the legs again. Back and forth a few times.
Now, if you're doing this practice, go ahead and lay down and take 7 minutes at least of Savasana on your own or longer. Feel free to fall asleep if it feels like that's what your body needs today. I want to say from the bottom of my heart, thank you for sharing this time with me.